Buddy, welcome to the chat. Apologize for being late. I found out the hard way that I'm allergic to a plant in my tank. So I have I'll just clear this up why I look puffy and like a junkie. But I was working in the tanks and working in this tank to be specific, and apparently stargrass and I, or pearlweed, don't get along because I was working with it and it started making my hands a little itchy, so then I went and washed off, but in the course of that I probably touched my face and yada yada, but everything that was under water at one point, like right at the water level, started getting itchy. So either a chemical in the water or messing with those plants. But yeah, now I've got like some issues. So let's get past that. So I wanted to say thank you for 2,000 subs. So that's 2,000 subscribers. That means a lot to me. I think I threw it out there when I started the channel. Let me mute my phone. Sorry, I had it on so that my wife could get a hold of me. She's working late tonight. But Megtag, I don't think I've seen you in here before, so hello. Water Wizard, Soggy Pits, Insight Fool 1, Fish Keeping. Alyssa, hello. And Mr. D, hello. Hello, everybody. So thank you for 2,000. I think I said off the top of my head when... hey, just subscribed half an hour ago. Awesome, dude. Thank you, Dominic H. So, I think I said off the top of my head when the channel started that, I'll be lucky if I ever get to 1,000 subscribers on a channel that is themed on fish. T-Hang, what's up, dude? Redacted XX, hello. And is based on fish, freshwater fish, and usually smaller fish. Shrimp, and but also an emphasis on history and science of an aquarium, and trying to stay in those bounds, so to speak. So that's awesome. I mean, the channel has changed a bit. Like, I do updates on what fish I'm keeping and just kind of show new plants and stuff without the total nerdy thing that I thought I was going to be doing with this channel. I kind of thought that this channel would be essentially... like, here's a story that's a half hour long about the woman who invented fish tanks, like the one I uploaded recently. But I didn't even think that, people would want to chat and send messages. Just, I haven't done the YouTube thing. And so it's been awesome to have a community of, honestly, friends. Like, some of you live in my area and we're friends now. Eleanor Smith, hello. Welcome from the UK. Fancy Tail Aquatics, congrats. Thanks, man. Yeah, basically, I want to reward you guys for subscribing, for helping the channel grow, for helping me fulfill my idea. South Africa, awesome, dude. That's, Kotsi. Is that like, Hotsa? Or any derivation of that, like Kotsa or Hosa? But I like the history too. Let me tell you about it. So, the history takes a lot of research, and I like it, but I also am an artist for a living, which, as you can guess, is not the most stable job, doing graphic design and commission murals and things like that, paintings. So, I kind of do them where I can, and it all fits together well. But some weeks I have more time than others, and when it started, I actually was in between, had no gig going or anything, and I really had a lot of backlog of ideas saved up, and I still have a ton of ideas. Stefan Yurgay? I don't know how to say it right. Oh, thanks. The art on my walls is mine. Yeah. This stuff is all kind of stuff I've done for I don't know how to say it, but rich people in Seattle, like it's like accent wall art. Whereas, well, speaking of South Africa, although I know you guys don't have a ton of rhinos, uh, I like animals, and so these kind of psychedelic animal paintings are another one of my big types of art. So, yeah. Fellow graphic designer Jamie Lanier, I don't know. I'm butchering names today. But it's great to see some new names in here and all that. Like here's my favorite kind of art, by the way, is when I get to paint something like Mount Rainier with a lenticular cloud, but I get to do it all psychedelic and it's a reflection on a little pond there. Or just stuff that looks psychedelic already or surreal already, like fiddlehead ferns, things like that. I really like doing that. But I'm also a tattoo artist and a photographer, so I do a little bit of everything in between, just because you have to, especially in Seattle. It's a very expensive city to live in. Yeah, it's getting up there with New York, and obviously it's above LA now. It's up there with New York, Miami, San Francisco. I've told this to people before, but I thought I'd say it again. It's like in my neighborhood, it's around $2,000 a month for a 1 to 2 bedroom apartment, and that's the lowest you can go in my neighborhood. And in this city, like maybe 1,500, maybe for like a studio. But really, like the most people in my part of town pay something like 2 to 4 thousand for a house or an apartment with more than one room. Houses go for up to 5 or 6 thousand a month now. It's pretty crazy. But in any case, enough about this. Thank you guys for subscribing. And, I haven't decided to what extent I want to do a prize. Yes, I do auction my art, Eleanor, and I sell my art. I have a website that sometimes I throw a link up to. But I do auction off my art. I've got a couple books published, and I also have I have 2 coloring books of line drawings from tattoo art that I did years ago. JH Aquatics, what's up? What's up, Joseph? How's it going? S Oak, hello. You can just call me Morn, pronounced like the second part of the actress Rebecca De Mornay, like the hand that rocks the cradle. Love your paintings. Oh, thanks, man, from South Africa. Shout out to your website. I want to check it out. Yeah, so the link, let's see if it'll let me even. Hey, Brian. It won't let me text in the chat from my phone, but the link I can put afterwards, or you can check out past live streams that have it. And basically, it is Soma Inc. So SOMAINK.com. That's my first website. That one's a bit unorganized and has some older stuff in it, but it is you'll get a feel from it. Yeah, I do need mods, but I'm not allowed to have mods right now because YouTube is in the process of updating things and changing things. And so I've had enough, like I'm not monetized either. So the only money I get from the channel is Patreon, which I really appreciate. Like I think I'm getting something like $30. I want to keep it transparent. $30 a month, or $25 to $32, I think is what it's fluctuated around, total a month for the channel. And I'm trying to post like every other day, sometimes every day, content. But because I am not monetized under their new rules, I suppose, their new forum or their new formula algorithm, I can't do a bunch of things like super chats. I can't have mods. I can't. Yeah, there's just stuff that now you can't do, and I can't even ask for help on the situation. Whereas before, even before like I got to that point, I knew that like I could do certain things like have mods even with like low numbers of subscribers, but I must be caught in some sort of purgatory for for YouTubers where I qualified for enough under previous standards for monetization, but not enough for when they implemented the new rule like March 1st or whatever it was. And literally like a week after that, I did qualify, and it's been a backlog, and they haven't been able to get back to me ever since then. So I'm still just kind of waiting, not knowing if I'm lost in the shuffle. There's no help desk line or anything like that. Bigger channels do have an email possibility. I think if you have over 10,000 subscribers, maybe. But I don't have any of those luxuries. So, yeah, Mad Fish Diva, hey, what's up? What's up, girl? So I'm looking at this tank. I wanted to show you, obviously, this is my king, my Lucas Brett's rainbow fish. Right now, you can see some of the purple iridescence to him, probably, and the red in his tail, along with the blue. I love him, but he's been in here with females for 2 months now, and there used to be double the amount of females. There were 9 females. And he has not produced a single offspring in 2 months, which is fishy. You'd think those females would have produced an offspring. This gal looks like maybe she's ready, I hope. But I threw in another male with a lyre tail, and not nearly as good of coloration or anything. But I figured maybe this young male would, prompt Mr. Lucas Brett's line. This guy was the king of a tank, so he was breeding out for the standard of the tank, and so I was doing artwork for Lucas on his channel, LRB Aquatics, check it out. And basically he gave me the one of the kings out of 6 in the tank, which are like his highest standard, and I was like really honored to get that. Because I like to barter instead of have money. I mean, obviously I need money for bills and equipment and stuff, but I love to barter if possible. So like trading fish for art was rad, and he gave me a really nice trade. So did you get any CPD fry yet? Yes. Let me go downstairs and show you that. I wanted to make all the announcement-y stuff, so this will just be like kind of an update. Also, I've done a lot of weeding in these tanks today, and so basically I had like pearlweed and what is the plant to the left of the red? Left of the red. Which red? Sorry, I know there's a lot of reds. This crypt... Bentley, yeah, man. I want those guppies. I really want some of your Kochu tetras too. I know I can just buy some other ones, but I want yours. Also, I want people to check out Bentley Pasco's channel. Oh, this is pearlweed up here in its like landform that I threw in. And then over here, this is some sort of Elodia, not the illegal one. So it's like a mix between Kabamba and Parrot's Feather, but I can't remember what it's called. And then I've got Lacustris, or Ludwigia x Lacustris, and then a red tiger lily, Altherna renicia. Probably butchering that too. Then I've got another, I've got a lot of crypts in this tank. This is a pink flamingo crypt. I really like that. I haven't started my summer tubbing. It's been getting down to like 40 to 38 degrees still at night here, which is real weird. But hopefully like any time now I can start summer tubbing T-hang. In this tank also, I've got the really... My favorite plant, red tiger lotus or dwarf lily for a 40 gallon. You could do either. This is a 20 gallon. I would do a red tiger lotus probably if you have the space for it. Right here, I've actually unrooted all the weird like naja grass, like guppy grass, and there's some hydrocotyl up there, and even like boos and all sorts of junk floating. And basically, I'm just letting that be because no fry are in this tank hardly. There's like, I don't know. Well, you'll see them, like the shrimp are a mystery too. I put 8 shrimp in here, these bright yellow ones, and I can't find any. So here's like one fry that's like a couple weeks old, and I don't know where he came from, but he probably came, he's old enough, I think. Like same with this one. They're old enough that they're over a month old, and so they're not from the male that I want to be breeding. But yeah, and then I've got like Rotala. Oh, it would be pink if I had CO2, but Rotundifolia. I have like 10 tanks in total, ish. You'll see why ish if you hang out. This was originally my golden ram's horn snail with the red tank that I was trying to breed them in, and it's at a really interesting equilibrium right now, but it's hard to get them to have the gold shell. They don't want that gold shell. Yeah, I have MTS real bad. If you have a place to get it, Nymphea micrantha, who was asking about the what to put in a 40 breeder lily-wise, I love these. They're also called the tricolor lily or the multicolor lily. This is a morph, so right now, I've showed everyone this a lot, but if you haven't seen it yet, it's always kind of pretty. So check this one out. You don't see any purple, it's just clear, right? Like, it's just a little bit shiny or iridescent. Now let me go over to the bigger tank. Same deal. It's kind of just clear. You see the back of it. But when I grab one of the pads, which turn green and boring at the top, when I grab one of the pads and the light hits it just right, it's this incredible purple color. And that one's not doing it super well, but certain days, certain times of day, when the light, especially natural light, hits it just right, these lilies are incredible. And this is a morph of the Nymphea micrantha. This is called purple, and it doesn't pollinate via flower, and so it only occurs off the Nile River in places like Sudan and Ethiopia, and it only occurs in like oxbows from like the wet season and stuff where water gets trapped, or in wetlands down in Sudan. And it can only be like, it only grows and gets new places by being ripped up and moving that way, or throwing out runners. But the flower, when it flowers, which I've seen it flower at Aquarium Zen, which is the owner, Steve, who I bought it from, and I've propagated that one, plus there's another one back in here starting to grow, and I've got one other, which are all promised to others. HC Aqua, hello. But yeah, they bloom purple, like this beautiful white and soft lavender purple color. So I really like these lilies. Plus, they can also do really magical things like, well, I mean, let me clarify that. There's a video. They're related to the blue lotus or lily in Egypt. And they also have, Kyle Knudsen, thanks, man. They have psychedelic, or probably psychoactive is more accurate. I think they ferment the lotus blossoms with other things to make them psychedelic. But the ancient Egyptians have used them for a long time. Lilies made me get a new tank. Yeah, it's why I have... good night. Tell me how to sex Serpe tetras. I don't know off the top of my head. I know a trick for all tetras, which is you look at them from above, and if they are rounder, like wider, noticeably, that's a good indication. But Serpe tetras, I'm not sure anything else. A lot of times with tetras, you can shine a really bright light late at night, in and see through them somewhat, and you'll actually be able to see if they're holding eggs. Like ember tetras, you can see right through and see if they're male or female by their eggs. These orange-eyed lemon tetras I have, you can tell by their actions and also by the color of their fins a little bit. Some are red versus orange, which isn't picking up on here, but like I just scared him. There's the biggest male, alpha male, who's got like on his bottom, the back bottom fin there, you can see he's got like blood red, and he's the one who's in charge of the tank, whereas the other ones have like an orange color that's not quite as extreme, and the females are even less so. But I'd look for a big belly. Look for the big belly on any tetra. That's a good sign generally, looking at it from above. There may be other ways too, though. I just don't know that specific species that well. Sexing it, never tried to breed it. What do you use for minerals or advice? I had translucent snail shells and a lot of shrimp deaths until I started adding these wonder shells and used crushed coral. Yeah, I use crushed coral. I also use eggshells. I'll boil an egg just like to have a hard-boiled egg. And then I will take those shells, peel them off, boil them real quick again just to detoxify them, sterilize them. That's the word I was looking for. And then I just put that into my filter or into a media bag if I don't have a filter. And the bacteria that eat on that will then allow... and also, hey, these guys are making an appearance for you. So these cribs, these aren't Tiniatus like all my other cribs. These are Pulcher cribs. And Day's big boys, that male is long, well, he's so shy in this tank for some reason. Upstairs, or downstairs, he was not shy at all. But he's larger than my index finger or my ring finger. So he's probably a good 4.5 inches long. He's a big one. The female's probably 2.5 inches long. But they're really pretty, and I have this tank so densely planted that I can't see my fish anymore. I can't see any of my Cory catfish that are in here. But they do a great job of cleaning up the bottom for me, plus there's snails in here. This tank is my magic tank. I don't know why, but it's just so balanced. I don't need to fiddle with it a ton. Although the nearite snails are driving me friggin' nuts. They lay their little white eggs everywhere. And it's also my grow out tank for my plants. Even though there's not CO2 in this one, these spotlights, everyone always asks what they are. They're Cree LED 30-watt spotlights. Just blast light in here. Plus there's light from outside that's kind of ambient on here. And so that it works well as for stem plants, even though sometimes they go a little janky to try to get the light the best. But I can jam this thing full, like to the point of double the inches per gallon rule, and all the fish seem happy. And I pull things out of here frequently and trade them at the fish shows, or at the GSAS, which is the local Seattle aquarium club. So this is kind of one of my showy tanks, I could say. And then there's that tetra that I told you had cancer. And you'll see that growing, the black on the spine and throughout the body. And there's nothing you can do about that on these guys. I've seen it happen once before. And it makes me worried. This guy had something going on too. And yeah, so it happens on their spine, and it seems to take like up to a year sometimes. But then they start twitching and not moving. So it's either like some sort of cancer or cyst, or I don't know, it could be a worm that none of the medications take out, like a parasite. Have you tried the PPS Pro method for fertilization, or do you stick with the shelf like CChem? Fertilization? For the plants, I use Fluval root tabs or CChem root tabs every so often in here. Oh, for the plants. Fertilization in my head. For some reason, I was stuck thinking about the reproductive tract of orange-eyed lemon tetras. But no. Yeah, I use probably, let's see, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8 root tabs in this whole tank, and then under the gravel. And it's just gravel, but the fish poop so much in here with this many fish that basically it's always got like 30 parts per million nitrates, and they all seem to be fine with that. And then the snails and everything just got the notice. Betsy, you sleeping through my live stream? How dare you? The other thing I did, which you'll see a video on later, is I cleaned up my and rearranged my high-tech aquarium, so to speak, the one that Steve from Aquarium Zen in the U District here in the good old Seattle hooked me up with. And I'm sure everybody's curious, so you got to 2,000 views and you want to reward viewers, Alex. I'm a viewer. How do I get rewarded? Well, that answer is several fold. So the first part of it is I wanted to send out fish, as I've wanted to in the past. Fish and we're not good together at shipping. Like, they die. I'm sorry, they just do. And so in any case, I want to send some plants out to winners. And if you live in my area and get selected, then, like, and I'm talking, like, if you can drive an hour, I can drive an hour, like, or you come into Seattle ever, or whatever, then we can talk about fish. Like, that's no problem, because I know a lot of you guys are local too. Now, if you're out of the country in, say, South Africa, what I want to do, even though it's squirrely, is if you have Amazon online, Amazon service, like Amazon Prime or shopping, I want to give out a gift card. Bentley's just did this on his channel too. But basically, I want to give out, like, so for Canada, since shipping would be $25 just to get something over to Canada, which is stupid. It used to be $9, but I'll digress. They changed it 3 years ago. But thanks, Joseph, for the congrats. Yeah, I'm really, really moved that we have a community here, and the one on Facebook that Betsy does a really nice job of moderating and updating. And yeah, a lot of people are having problems with not getting notices, but if you select the bell and select, like, get notices under the subscribe thing, you have to, like, do both. But even then, some people are having problems, so I don't know what's going on. But in any case, this tank looks a bit like it's been hacked at, but it even needs a little more trimming throughout here. And in here, it looks like you can see roots, and it's a big tangled mess, but I want this hydrocotyl to climb up the side of the mountain. Yeah, so if you guys get the alerts that I'm going live late, I'm sorry. I'll try to fix it. But YouTube has been going real crazy. Like today, like earlier on Joel's chat too, they had like 3 streams open, and people could comment on live streams while they were going on. And just, I don't know, kind of crazy stuff was going on, like glitchy stuff. And my channel seems to get the brunt of that because it is, quote unquote, a smaller channel. And so I think they do their testing. Like, I don't know, maybe someone knows who's in the tech bee's nest. But yeah, it seems like they do the testing on the smaller channels and stuff, and then it gets all glitchy. Colin, thank you. Bob got one an hour ago for Dan's Fish, saying it was going live in 30 minutes, and it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I was delayed 15 minutes today in my chat, and that was because of the allergic reaction that I had. Now, I have a lot of allergic reactions, if you guys missed this at the beginning, but something while I was trimming the plants swelled up my face nice and good, and luckily not my throat, but also got my arms and my hands and stuff. So I'm hearing honking as though my other from another mother, my wife, she's not home. In any case, so that stalled me. I had to take some Benadryl. So if I get loopy at the coming up here, blame it on the Benadryl. Also, when I clean this tank, just a heads up, if you guys have tanks with substrate that has ammonia and other things in it, be careful when you dig dig a bunch of stuff or like move things around, because right now these little endlers are fighting, but they're also exhibiting really odd behavior, and they were gasping for a second. So I usually do a water change too, which I did like a 20%, but after the feed I'm going to do another one if they don't settle down here. Also, they just pick a male to pretend is a female, and they just harass this Japanese blue that I've been trying to breed these Japanese blues. So the story on those Japanese blues is I never had the female of the species, and so I had to like fake it till I make it. And so this is like the 5th or 6th generation of what they look like now. So they're now like in a line where the males and the females both come out pretty good looking, and now I want to mix them with the leopard endlers or tiger endlers, either way. Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat. Smaller but better. Some of the bigger ones, in my opinion, simply how interactive they are with the viewer. We talking about fish? What we talking about? So in any case, I want to reward those who have been here all along. I was gonna give away Endler Fry like way back. I'm sure Bob remembers. I'm sure Betsy remembers. And I didn't do that because they grew up, and I had like 8 that were worth sending, and I ended up splitting the colony. And so it's still in my mind like that those are due, and like people deserve those. But for some reason, like the males like turned out like this guy here, which is green and white and not what I had promised. And so it's only a small percentage of those babies that are turning out really good, and I want to send people something good when that time comes. And that's really for the Patreon subscribers. I've decided now, like, especially not being monetized on Facebook, but I like spilling my social life just like, or my personal life just like a lot of people do on the YouTubes in the fish world, but I don't have a whole lot of money coming in or anything. A lot, like all of it pretty much goes to rent and then my medical bills. My fish tanks and things, I try to exclusively make money off of endlers and things, and like I'll buy and sell shrimp or whatever and trade, and that's how I've built up my collection, with maybe like $50 here and there when I need like a filter. But it's been a cheap hobby, because I know a lot of people will look at this and be like, you don't look like you're hurting for any money, you got tanks and lights and stuff. But I've actually in 6 months just hustled with breeding shrimp, breeding endlers, breeding guppies, breeding CPDs and Cory cats, and then splitting plants and whatever, cribs too. Finally, that took a while. I prefer endlers to guppies, even though they are super similar. I might have the indie syndrome. Yeah, I prefer endlers by far. Guppies are a little more gluttonous in my mind, whereas the endlers seem a little more chill to me. Plus, I just like their smaller body. Although the females are so large, I wish that they were not like up to 1.5 inches, 2 inches long when they fully mature. That bugs me. But this poor male has just been mated with so many times, like, or attempted to be mated with by all the other little males in here. So let me get back to the reward thing that I was saying. So I feel bad that I was not able to breed star quality fish. And the ones that I did, so let's count this off right now while we have a chance. So we got some males in here. These could easily be mailed out today. Like, these are of a quality that I don't worry about. Then we've got the females, which I feel like I needed to get the stock up. So we've got 3 tanks with just those endlers in them up there. Thanks. You said sharing your videos is enough of a giveaway for me, making your videos educational. I get the cost of the hobby. Lost my job 6 months ago. Part of my hobby revival. I have an interesting reaction from my clown loaches eating into a new Lobelia cardinalis plant. Toxic shock, so plants are not always docile and friendly. That's for sure. And I'm kind of surprised in the hobby, I'm just turning lights on here, guys. I'm kind of surprised that in the hobby there isn't more discussion about what's quote-unquote safe and not, because there's some like kind of nasty plants, and underwater it does diffuse like nettles and things like that. But yeah, a lot of them produce oils and all sorts of things that are not ideal. So we've got the endler up there. We've got more endlers right here and CPDs, but there's endler fry in there. And then the Japanese blue line is here. And then there's another endler mixed with Japanese here. And you can see how low on males I am. Like right now I'm getting a couple of males, but they're taking 3 months to 4 months to fully color up. So that's why the giveaway of the leopard endlers was stalled. But I think it'll be easier if I don't have to handle shipping and stuff, unless you happen to be in the area. Like, here's a good leopard endler in my mind, this guy here. And this is what happens when he mates with the blue endlers. And so this is the line I'm trying to get, is these like slightly spotted leopard Japanese bluegrass, whatever you want to call them. And then in here, I've also got my cribs, and then I've got a couple of my little barometers, as I call them, my ruby tetras, because they let me know when ammonia or nitrogen or anything is going up. They are the first to discolor. Down the wormhole, hello. So somebody asked if so this is my breeding tank for the, it was just for species only CPD, and so I had it sectioned off into 3. I know the glare's terrible, sorry guys. So I have over here, we have CPDs. Over here we had guppies, but I took down the wall between the guppies and well, we don't know exactly. Let me zoom in. I wonder if you can catch the natural light at this angle. But they're purple danios. They're gold rings, but they have no gold on them. They're all purple and silver. And I got them at a pet shop as a one-off. The guy was like, I don't know, these don't look quite right. I'm putting them on sale. And so I bought like 7 of them, and I think I have 5 left from when I bought those 6 months ago. But right here, where'd he go? You can see, I guess, over here in this light a little better, the purple sheen to them. And their fins actually have a red on them. So I really want them to breed, and so I put them up there alone, but nothing was working for a few weeks. So I opened it up, and I opened it up, the wall that was a divider, like this mesh stuff here, and their color came straight back to life. So I don't know if they just wanted friends or needed more space or whatever. Also added more clippings of just loose plants that are growing. I like to do that for the fry in all my tanks. It doesn't look the best, and if I have company coming over or something, I will do away with it. Also, I've found that these clown killifish have reproduced. You can see, finally, where is it? Focused way too deep, way too fast. But you can see that blue eye. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. But finally, some of them survived, and it was in the tank that I didn't put them in to breed. I had them all alone. I put them in low pH. I had them do all these yada yadas, and nothing worked for them. They'd lay eggs, but they just never hatched. And then finally, now some have randomly appeared in this tank with them. So, yay. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Now let's get to some shrimp. Just the daily roundup. So, as you might recall from my last video, I had a wicked case of the planaria. And so I put a hang off the back filter on, been changing those things out, like the filter floss as it catches more of the planaria. And these aren't the planaria that look like worms on the glass, like little teeny worms with triangular heads. These are like either baby planaria, or like you can kind of see them moving around, swimming around in the current. They're just like little things. Sorry if my connection's getting bad. I'll hop upstairs if it disconnects or something. But my blue dreams every day when the sunlight comes out, the blue dreams, look at how beautiful that blue is. I couldn't ask for a prettier blue. And what's that? Oh, little blues. So we have some little blues, and yeah, I had planaria. So I didn't put fenbendazole in there, or fendabendazole. But yeah, endlers are expensive here too. Believe it or not, that tiger endler that's the king, at an auction live, they've gone for up to like several $100s for the male and female combo. Also, wanted to point out we've got a pregnant blue dream here. Not one of the best ones. She's doing a terrible job at juggling her eggs. She must be young. But yes, I use levamisole, which is like a pig, dog, and it used to be human before they realized it causes all sorts of terrible side effects in humans. So yeah, did that. Here it looks like we have a molt, but I'm going to take a closer look at that molt because it looks almost too detailed to be a molt. It almost looks, oh no, it's hollow. All right. Sometimes they scare me, and I think, oh no, we got a man down, or female down, a woman down. Also, the babalti shrimp, down to 3 out of the dozen I had, so that's not so hot. Stress, life, living a hard life, I guess, has caused them to really... They just didn't do well when I first got them, like right at first. You can see the babies, though. So I'm really stoked that the Blue Dream babies are out and about, oot and about. So hopefully these babies in about 5, yeah, you can mix a mono with neos, but Amanos do get big, they do become bullies, and they will like push the other neos off the food. So make sure you feed them in multiple spots. If it's a big tank with fish in it, then don't worry too much about the way you feed, because like planaria and stuff probably won't happen as easily. But yo, Scottish Aquatics, how's it going, Ming? Also, the other thing I was going to mention, there is Betsy. I threw away the Devon tank. So there's also the bees, the honey bees, and they are also all pregnant, which is interesting. Here's a babalti in its yellow to orange state right here. I know there's lots of glare on this side of the tank. Heather, hello, Varuna Aquatics. Let's see who's hiding over here. Usually, oh, there's another pregnant blue. So this one is the one I'm putting my money on, doing a good job with her Blue Dream babies. She's loaded to the brim, yet she still swims around, hangs out upside down, all that jazz. Here's another Babalti right here, if you can see it through that tangle. So Mother Babalti is probably not far. She's been hanging out under this rock here, under this crack, and she must be getting ready to give birth because she's not out in the open much anymore at all. And usually pregnant shrimp start to hide once they get close to giving birth time. But yeah, so yeah, Betsy. I was waiting to see how long it took Betsy to freak out, but she knows I'm jerking her chain. The Devon tank will be shown shortly. Also, I want to move a couple things around in this tank. I have been noticing, though, this is weird. So, the everything's fine. The KH is like 1. The TDS is like 50 or something like that right now. And the pH is like 6.7 in here. And the temperature is like 72 or 4, around there probably. And so I was just like, why are some of my shrimp just disappearing? And in a shrimp tank, Rockstar Bulldog, hello and welcome. Like the red crystals, I did have 10 in here. And now, usually I can only count like 7 or 8. Oh no. No. No! You guys, this is what I was talking about. Now I'm sad. So the red crystals have not been doing... Oh, but there's... Oh, I got 2 baby blue dreams. Alright, guys, get out. But, unfortunately, something's up with the red crystals. I don't know what it is. No one's dying in the other tank, so it could be the... maybe planarial or something related to the water conditions that allowed for planaria, you know? Come on, guys, get out of the net with the dead shrimp. I know he's delectable, but come on. All right, let's. Okay, one's out. But the good news is that it seems like these blue dreams are having like 15 to. This one I know just because it's the first one to have given birth, but it had a good, alright, come on, get out of there. There we go. Alright, so it had a good, what was it? I think it was like 29 babies, so that was good. That was a good run. But, yeah, I'm just, man, that really bums me out that this shrimp is dead. I don't know why they're dying, honestly. I did do a water change yesterday. Perhaps it was too much for them. Also, come on. This is just comical. Really? Come on. All right. I give up. Always rinse out your nets when you have a dead shrimp or something, or fish. Rinse it more than this. I'm just rinsing it right now because I wanted to get a little off, but later I will dip it in. I'll set this net aside. Since it's already been in this tank, I'm going to continue to probe a little bit for another second, and then we'll go on to the other tank, which is prolific in shrimp. So it makes me feel a little less bad. But yeah, for some reason the blue bolts are doing well in here. The blue dreams are doing well in here. The Babaltis weren't doing well from the start, but now they're fine. It was like an getting acclimated type thing. But yeah, see, I count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, 8, 8 out of 10 or 12 that were in here. And I'm not seeing the blue dreams at all right now. Or the blue bolts. But you know how shrimp are. If you have shrimp, they just friggin' hide in the oddest places. Like, watch this. I'll probably tap this surface duckweed, and I bet a shrimp will come out. Are you in there, shrimp? Yeah, they're expert. Yep. So there's multiple shrimp up in there. So I don't know. I'll worry about it when it's been like 2 or 3 days of not seeing someone, or more. And then right now, what is the temperature set at? Oh, set at not on at all. So believe it or not, it's warm today. It's like 75 or 6 outside, but the tank is like probably 69 or 70 degrees right now. Oh, there's the pregnant Babalti. So we'll try to coax her out real quick just to show you guys. Just because I also want to check on her. She's next to the golden bees. But here she is, so... Ta-ta-da! Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-da! Alright. That's enough prodding. I haven't seen Neocaridina. I never will, because that means it died and the mono ate it. Yeah, that happens a lot too. So, dang it, where'd she go, you guys? I just turned around and, oh, she's under the ledge. But here is the pregnant and very, very green Babalti. They turn this really pretty green color when they're pregnant. And so I'm waiting for her to give birth, You can see she's buried up, the gold bee. And waiting for that blue dream to give birth, who is just loaded with eggs. So there should be a lot of blue dreams that are Lucas Brett's world's greatest A-grade blue dreams, and that might be something I could send out as a reward. Now, I need your guys' help. This will be a multi-part video, because you stuck with me this long, guys, and that means a lot to me. What do we want to do as a contest? Do you want me to do a random drawing, or do you want me to require that you guys do something? So also, Joseph, they turn color. They go from orange to green to clear to brown to yellow on their own. And in some of my other videos, you can see that. Hey, there's one of my blue bolts. Alright, let's move on to the next tank while I'm being all ADD. So this is the Devon tank, as it is known. Because it is made in memory of Betsy's passed on pup. So we've got a blue bolt in here, looking nice and blue. Also, we've got Neocaridina, and these ones are they're red, but they're technically a mix between a blue dream and a Bloody Mary, I believe, because their babies come out as blue and red and brown. So I don't know how Lucas made them. I'll have to ask him. But they throw some interesting combos. Also, I wanted to point out that, like, a lot of times I'll smash snails and then leave them in here, and that this debris field will grow biofilm, and then the snails or the shrimp will eat off of them, and yeah, then they get their calcium from the bacteria that was processing it. Also, you can see I've got my black shadow pandas in there, and black pandas. Red pandas are also in here. Everybody's getting ready to molt again. The babies in here are no longer babies. They are now at, some of them are at 1/2 inch. So this one's probably 1/2 inch. Not good coloration though yet. This one is going to be a, well, twitchy one. but it's probably a really shrimp. You can see that clear spot in its abdomen, so that's interesting. I'm getting some realies out of this line too, and then I'm also getting some brown ones and stuff like that, so kind of funky. In here, this mess is the feeding place. No planaria in this tank ever. No hydra in this tank. The reason being, I let the snails just, they go insane in this tank. And I just pick up that feeding dish and clean it out daily and throw away the snails. And still they reappear like magic. Also wanted to point out my green jade had some babies in here. I know it's getting too zoomed in for a phone. But also the yellow sakura has babies in here. So, and then there's some clear ones, and therein lies one of the pitfalls of having a tank set up like this. I won't know where to put those clear ones, but realistically, because they could be a green, they could be a yellow, whatever, they could be some random thing, but I'll be able to put them into my tank with my cribs, and if they survive that visit, then fine. Or I'll put them in a nature aquarium. So I've got this one that I'm thinking of putting out on the porch next to all my cultures of stuff growing. But I have some terrestrial plants that I'm trying to grow underwater, and it looks like it's working. So that's an interesting little tidbit. But this, I think, is going to go up on the deck, and we'll see how it goes. Alex, will I be expecting your company tomorrow? Buddy, maybe. I've been having some issues. As I mentioned earlier, I am, like, having a reaction that has not slowed down. In fact, my eyelid has split while we're doing this cast. It's so swollen. And with the lupus, sometimes that really puts me out for the count. So I hope I'm feeling better, but we're gonna go Scottish Aquatics, check out his channel. He's got killer discus. Like they'll kill you. No, they're just beautiful. And his tanks are rad. Hey Patricia. And I wanted to go see his place and do a fish room tour of his spot. But as I've said before, I'll have one little issue like an allergic reaction or a cold, and then lupus flares up, all my joints get bad, and I end up in the ER. So it's kind of an unknown right now, like how bad this will get, but I am still having reactions systemically, which is a bummer. And that's why this hobby, that's why I love it, is because it gives me allergic reactions. No, it's because it calms me. It makes me feel better to have this and just watch the fish do their thing in their little world. When I'm in pain or I'm sweating and I just like itchy and doing miserable, you guys with your comments and love and info means so much to you. How do you get lupus? Born with it, yeah. Also another oddball situation here. I have a rainbow fish with no parents. So I went to a plant auction a while back, and no idea where this rainbow fish came from. I've let it grow up from a fry, probably from an egg, and it probably came in on a plant. But I like her. She's a neon dwarf female, and she's real shiny if you can get the actual sunlight on her. She's like beautiful blue. Well, I'm not going to play with it too much right now. Also, these cribs, they need a new home. They're coloring up, and it's clear who's pairing off with who. My Corridoras are way too fat in this tank. They look like little footballs. Don't get me wrong, I love them, but they look like little footballs. And this tank is also my tank where I throw random shrimp that I don't know what to do with, like this one came out of a batch a while ago. And it's like a brownish, purplish, clear. Did it really just turn when I turned? Come on. Yeah. But up here, I just wanted to say too, there are a few fry in here, like that one up there, that are not Endler fry. So hopefully, here's another one up in here. Hopefully these fry, like this guy, that have the whole clear back section and an extra little fin under their belly. Hopefully they are these, because these, I've run them by a couple people and everyone's like, oh, they're just gold rings with the color morph. But the store I got them from says that, Gareth Doyle, hello. Wee top of the morning to ya. I know it's late or early over there. But yeah, so hopefully those are breeding. Nothing's known about them. My supplier, Aquariums, then didn't know either. That was horrid, Alex, and weird. Yeah, it was. I'm not from Ireland, okay? Forgive me. I have troubles with that accent. Too much? Too soon? I wish we could put photos or videos in the comment box. I can't wait to show you my discus. Well, you can go to the Facebook group. So just look for The Secret History Living in Your Aquarium Facebook group, and there are about 100 folks over there. Maybe Betsy can post a link. Betsy, maybe? Can you pretend to be my moderator, even though they don't give me such privileges right now? Thanks. So let's talk about this another go. Let's talk one more time. Can you... Oh, it won't let you? That's so lame. Can you put a comma instead of a period in there? Insects galore. These fish sometimes, they only have forward. They don't have reverse. And they get stuck. And it's kind of comical to watch, because you know they're going to get unstuck. But this pretty lady was so scared. Cool, thank you. Awesome, Scouty. Yeah, I just love... I'm sorry there's glare on this tank. I wanted to do the cast earlier, but Joel's always on earlier. I knew I recognized your name. So I'm just looking at comments. These might be my first... What? I still have a pseudomcgill rainbow fish? I did not know that. Wow. That's what happens when you have too many fish in a tank. You forget that you put like one oddball in there. Also, these rainbow peacock gudgeons, I'm still trying to give them away. If anybody over here wants them, please take them. They are monsters. They will kill your family. They are awful. But these white cloud minnows, they will probably be my first tubs outside, because they're pretty tolerant to that. And they look pretty nice. They're getting their little longer fins as they're growing. And there's definitely some females that are just full of eggs waiting to have that happen. So there's the female gudgeon. She's not too bad. She's pretty nice. But everybody's over here thinking I'm going to feed them. The black neon tetra. There, you got a beautiful shot of the blue. Look at that. I wish I could screenshot that one. She looks great. So I really do like rainbow fish. I just don't have enough tank space. Like, I wish I had a 100-gallon tank, but my wife won't stand for it. 40 is the biggest, and that was a challenge. Now, these blue endlers, these are ones, and there's also a couple, like there's a bunch of males in here of just random stuff that didn't work. Thoughts on breeding neon green rasboras? Yes, I have some thoughts. Can you do it and let me know how to? No, I mean, in theory, I know how to do it. I have 3 or 4 of them in here, and I really wanted them to breed. I've put them in pens together. They really need. That's a whole episode on its own, and maybe I'll do that. But if you look at my breeding CPDs episode, it's pretty similar. All the tetras and all the really teeny egg scatterers, they really kind of do the same thing. So basically what you want to do is keep the male and female separated if you can figure that out, usually by looking at the bulk of their body and coloration. So in here you can see through them and you can see who has the eggs and who doesn't, who's got the egg sac and who doesn't. If you've got a group of 11, what I would do is I would take a basket. So if you have like a basket with holes, like a colander kind of for like spaghetti or whatever, if you can sink that, or if you can get a mesh that's fine enough that they can't fit through but other stuff can fall through, get that and then some foam and line the top of the basket. If you can like hot glue gun a basket together, or just use like a wire mesh basket or something, and then float that in the tank or tape it to the side of the tank and just put the adults in that and let them lay their eggs. Now, I think if I recall with them, they want live food, so like brine shrimp, stuff like that. Hold on, I'm gonna go wash my face again, just getting itchy. They want live food and brine shrimp, and they also want a little bit, I mean, obviously low TDS, a little bit of biological matter, so some leaves is always good, and some plants are always good, just to have those hormones or chemicals in the water to make them feel relaxed, natural. And then, sorry guys, I'm like washing my face, but what am I gonna do? I'm having this, wow, that's not a good photo. There we go. Just trying to get some of these welts to stop. But yeah, so keep it natural. Think of what they would want. And then in their section, don't put any of that, because just the chemicals will float in and make that fine. But, yeah, so I would do that. And then the temperature and stuff you can find online, but I think it's like 78 probably. 78 to 82 would be my guess. And usually you either want to raise it or drop it. Usually dropping it signifies the wet season, and they know that they should use their energy to reproduce and not fast because they're stuck in a pond puddle or something somewhere in the Amazon where it's dried out. By the way, the green jade shrimp from Aquatic Arts are in this tank now with some yellow shrimp. So I want to see what happens if they hybridize, if the neocaradinas turn into something. There's also still amanos in here, in theory, too. I mean, not in theory. I saw them last night. But they're heavily nocturnal. I've come to learn in this tank anyways. They just hang out back in here. I need a cool compress. I know, I'm sorry guys. That was unprofessional. I should not have just like done that on the on the live stream. But my face was burning up. Let's see here. What else is going on? Is it make a closed aquarium with shrimp and plants and your ideas? Yeah, I would make like... Hey, you're eating shrimp for dinner. Yeah. Fake name. Yeah, you are a little late, man. Can't believe you. Fake name, I'm glad you're here as well. So let's talk about this, because I probably got to get off the internet soon and take a shower or something. But what do you guys want to do? I want to hear from you guys. And comment after this video uploads. But if you guys want me to just do a random drawing and give out some gift cards to people overseas and some plants, like rare plants and cool plants here, and I can always message you and find out if you have CO2, what plants you have, whatever, and cut stems. But I'll probably do a 50% or $50 plant value package, and that will go to one person, and then I'll probably do a $25 plant package to another person, and nobody needs to pay shipping, obviously. It's just a reward to say thank you for 2,000 subscribers. Also, I want to do something for my Patreon supporters, and I'm working right now with Aquatic Arts, and hopefully they may be sending out a package of their own. So that's why I kind of want to hold this like back. Maybe there's going to be a grand prize. But I feel like to get this reward, I am going... So start the process here. You're going to comment on this video after it uploads and say, I'm in, or I'm interested in this, in winning this prize. So comment once this video uploads, and then after that, I'm going to give you guys another update, and there's going to be something you have to do, and I have like 3 things in mind, but there's going to be like another thing, like you have to like a specific post or find something in a post. So I want to make it a little bit of fun, nothing hard, but that will be coming. So yeah, I don't know. I want to keep it a little secret because I have an idea. But there will be a $50 award in the form of plants for someone in the U.S. If they're not in the U.S., they will get a $25 gift card to something that is outside of the U.S., you know, whatever it is. If that's Amazon or if that's Alibaba or whatever you have, wherever you have it, I'll just do it that way. And it won't be like, can I get that instead of that? Like if you win in the U.S., you get the plants. And it'll be like a grab bag of not retail price, but like what I price plants for. So it'll be a good mix of like a dozen plants probably, and like maybe 30 stems or something like that. Yeah. So that'll be the grand prize, and then there'll be either 2 or 3 follow-up prizes. Because plants are easy to ship, so I can ship those better than fish. I would give away fish if you win and you're within like my... do a drawing or a sketch maybe. I would love that. Like if people submitted that, that'd be great. But in all honesty, I want to do something that encourages people to watch older videos on my channel and find something that they can learn, you know, like something educational. So I would love to see random comments of what you learned on an old video. And then you know what? So 2,000 subs. This is it. Sorry, I'm thinking on the fly. I don't want to make a lot of work for you guys. My brain's foggy with Benadryl. So what it's gonna be to win? Maybe I'll do another video post. I'll do like a video post that you can respond to. But this monetize. Wait, hold on. Congratulations on. Can you consider monetizing? Wouldn't it help you grow your channel? Oh, thanks, Kathy B. Love ya. I've tried to monetize. I've asked YouTube to monetize, and I don't want to run ads in the middle of everything. I just want a little banner ad, and I want the perks that come with that, like letting Betsy be my moderator, and now YouTube keeps putting it off for another month and another month, so I can't get super chats. I can get Patreon stuff, so if you guys want to support me on Patreon, that's always really appreciated. I've had a few people give me money on Venmo, and that was really sweet, but I understand, like, a lot of us don't have money to spend, and just being a part of the community means a lot to me too. So subscribing and clicking the bell icon and just participating means the world to me also. But if you do have extra money and you're like, dang, that tip like really helped me and you saved my fish, um, and you want to spare a buck or a couple bucks, I really appreciate that because I really want to get 2 new lights for downstairs eventually, and I want to get a better camera lens so I can film these fish better. I know Kathy says run the ads. Yeah, the ads don't make you as much as you'd think anyways, and they annoy people. So I'll probably do it like at the beginning of a live stream, there'll be an ad, because I don't think you can change that. And then I'll probably have the little block banner ad. Other than that, it decides ads randomly every few videos now. I don't know. It's all changing. It's all crazy. Yeah, so we'll make, yeah, Betsy will make a post, or I will, or whatever. We'll talk. And I'll have some details in the post. But I know there's 2,000 folks paying attention to the channel now, and there's like 100 of you guys on Facebook. Although you guys on Facebook are the diehards, and you're kind of the people I want to win the most anyways. No offense. Just because we have a connection. I have a face to the name, or I have pictures of your fish and stories about them, and I'm invested in y'all like I'm invested in Dr. Pepper addiction. So here's how it's going to go. I want you guys, if you want to win in this contest, you're going to have to do 3 things. First thing, comment on this video or the video which will be uploaded. Like a shorter video, because most people are not going to want to watch this whole live stream. So I'll post a short video also where this is clarified, where I'm not strung out on Benadryl and itchy. But basically, you're going to comment on that next video or this video, whatever. And goodbye, Eleanor. And then just say, I want in on the contest. And I'll jot your name down or copy and paste it. And then if you could go back, find one of my videos, and comment something that you learned that you didn't know before. And I don't care. Jump to minute 22 and whatever. Like, if you want to watch the video, that's great. But whatever. Yes. Let's see. I love your channel, and the Facebook group is the best. I try to post to it daily. I joined, and Betsy is awesome. Keep it up, and your videos taught me a lot about my shrimp and their history. That's awesome, Joseph Lambert. That's all I could hope from the channel, and that we're here to support each other for when people are having a hard time. Hope to see you soon. Yeah, I'll talk to you too, Scott, about what's going on as tonight unfolds, to see how much worse this gets. Like, my eyes, I can't tell if they're getting worse or better. But that's why I'll remake this video. I just felt like I needed to go up and say something today and chat with y'all, because it's a nice landmark. 2000 is special, and thank you guys. It means a lot that you guys are interested. So yeah, comment on this video after it's uploaded, or the next one, whatever. I'll keep names from each. In fact, I'll enter you twice if you end up doing that. And then comment on one of my old videos something that you learned in that video. And that's all you have to do. If you want, I love it when people share links or get a friend to join too, but I don't want to make you do that. But if you feel inclined, that's how the channel grows organically, for people who are actually interested, that the U-bot the YouTube robots algorithms sometimes miss someone who may be totally into this. So maybe you have a friend who would be into this channel, and you can hook them up by being like, hey, check out this channel and win something possibly. And then also, I want to, if you can, if you're still with me here, I see 44 of you are. So if you're still with me and you comment on my video, and I look up, and you win, and I look up that you have been with me since I had the theoretical ability to monetize, which would be March. So if you were within the first 3 months of this channel existing, I'm gonna go crazy and I'm gonna double the prize. Okay? So, yeah. That's on the fly. That now I've decided that. So we'll put all this info together on Facebook, and also probably I'll do an Instagram post, even though I'm still not doing that. But I want everybody on every continent to be able to win something. And then I want people in the US to be able to get some plants from me, so it's something from me to you. And then if you live real close, then you can get fish. So yeah. And we'll debate what fish you want of mine. So I'm going to go collapse. And sorry, my mouth's getting dry. But thank you guys for paying attention to this disjointed live stream. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and your fish and the people around you. Take it easy. I gotta do that. And I need to talk to Scottish Aquatics and Betsy. Please feel free to Mark Parrish. I know you've been there a long time. Alright. Do you have any of the cheap Amazon lights? Do you recommend any? Yeah, I've got a couple. I've got Aqua Neat, which Betsy sent me for the Devon tank, and that works great for a little tank. Gives you nice bluish color spectrum, like nice cool spectrum. And also the Cree, CREE LED by Cansun, CANSUN. Cree LED spotlights, those are killer. They're like 25 or 30 bucks on eBay, or sometimes they're on Amazon through second things. Let him go take care of himself. Eleanor, thanks. You're sweet. But I don't mind answering questions. Also, if somebody needs help with, like, my whole aquarium is jacked and I need help, or I want you to help me plan how I can put this fish with that fish, please message me. And I want to start doing consultations. So maybe for, like, I don't know, 40 bucks, we can talk for an hour, and I can sort out any questions you have, and we can do like a long Skype type thing. So I'll post more of that later too. I'm just a little scattered right now, so sorry this all came out all blah blah blah. Alright guys, take it easy, take care of yourselves. I know I already said this. Take care of yourselves, take care of the people around you, and take care of your fish. Swim on. I love you guys. Love one another. Thank you for getting me to 2,000 subscribers. And I feel like we're really a community of subscribers that care about each other. So care about each other and, like, answer each other's questions. If you have that information, don't wait for me if you know the answer and you're confident about it. Let's take care of each other. That's what this is all about, and grow the hobby. Alright guys. Much love. Thank you. Good night.